guys, welcome to Coach Dave Academy. I'm Mikkel Gade and I'm gonna show you around Monza today. Okay guys, now we're gonna go into more detail about the lap. I'll go over the lap turn by turn. Yeah, let's just run the lap. So going down the straight here, you wanna keep it in 5th gear. That's the fastest for straight line speed. And for the braking reference, you wanna use the 150 board. Brake just after that one. You can see I just run past the 150 board and I start braking. You wanna aim for around 80% peak pressure. Just hold it there for a bit. And wanna trail off the brake slowly. So for the apex here, you wanna go a bit over this curve. Don't take too much of this. It will give you an off track, so be aware of that. You wanna take about this amount. Not more, not less. Around here. And you wanna use just a bit of throttle. Getting over to the second apex here. You can see I'm just a bit on the throttle. Trail brake, just a tap on the brake. And you wanna just run over this curb. If you take more of this curb than I do here, you'll get an off track. So be careful of that. Go smooth on the throttle. You see I'm quite early on the throttle, but I go smooth on it. If you go too quick on the throttle, you'll get wheel spin. So be careful. Full throttle here. I want to go all the way to the outside. You can use this green tarmac here just after the curb. You see I'm just on the limit on the sand. So you can do that. That's the first chicane. Now we'll go down to the second chicane. Here you just want to keep it close to not waste any meters. Down in the second chicane, you want to brake just after the bridge and before the 100-meter board. Same again, around 80% peak pressure. You can go a bit wide here, use a bit of the curb if you want to get a larger turn. This curb, be careful, you can't take it as much as you could once, so don't take too much of this and you'll get an off track. This is around perfect amount. Just after I land the car, I go full throttle, see, full throttle. And this you can take quite hard. See, yeah, just hold full throttle. You can run quite wide here in the end on exit. Same again. Use the green tarmac here. That's the limit. If you go on the sand, you'll get an off track. You don't want that. Going over to this corner, I'm braking just before the orange piece out there. You can also use the guy there as a reference if you want. Just small brake around 50%. You want to hold the brakes going into the apex just a bit. It's quite a late apex. You want to get quite early on throttle still. So you see, I'm already on the throttle before the apex actually. Can go quite wide here, but don't go too wide, you'll get an off track. This is around the limit. If you go out here, maybe a tire length more, you'll get an off track. So don't go as near as the sand. For this corner here, Lesmo 2, you want to brake just before the 50 board. See here. Just a quick peak around 70%. Trail off the brakes quickly again. Third gear. Use all the curb here. The car can handle it. It's a BMW, good on curbs. And quickly on throttle. You see I'm on throttle just before I hit the apex actually. Already here. And full throttle. Just hold it. Yeah. You can go quite wide here as well. Still, don't go too wide. It will give you an off track, even before you hit the sand, so be careful. Going down to Ascari. Here I'm using braking reference. There is this tarmac between the grass pieces. I'm using that as a braking reference. Just brake just after that. Peak pressure, 80% again. Want to go down to third gear. You can run a bit wide here again to make the turn wider if you want to. Don't need to. Trail brake going into the corner. And this apex, it's important because there is, you see, there is 3 sausage curbs here. 1, 2, 3. If you hit the first one, your car will fly to the moon, so you don't want that. And you'll also get a slowdown. But if you hit the second one, that will give you just the right amount of rotation and you won't get an off track. So try to aim for the second curb there. Look at the second curb. And I also go on throttle before I hit the apex actually. Just around 80%. And when I land the car, full throttle. Just like the other corners. You want to keep it just full throttle the rest of the Scari. It's easy full throttle. You can take a bit of this curb if you want, but don't take too much of it. You'll get an off track. Going wide here. If you go near the grass, you'll also get an off track. So keep it around here. This is around the limit. Last corner, Parabolica. I use the green tarmac on the left here as a braking reference. You see it's quite long. But I use like 3/4 of it. Around the last bit of it I start braking. See here. Around 70% peak pressure. Bleed off the brakes, but try to hold the brakes going into the corner. So you can get the weight on the front tires to get it to rotate. Also here, early on throttle. Before I hit the apex, I go on throttle. So this is key on a high-speed track. Early on throttle gains you a lot of time. So try to do that. You can run quite wide here, but if you don't need to, you actually gain time by sharpening it up in the end, as you can see I do here. Just trying to minimize the meters here. then that's 46.9 around Monza. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel to see more track guides, and I'll see you next time. Bye.